Let us do few problems related to graph from your NCERT book back exercise. This is question number 16. Look at the graphs A to D carefully and state with reason which of these cannot possibly represent one-dimensional motion of a particle. Now, before coming to the concept, first of all, let's study about what is one-dimensional motion. Now, beta, first of all, consider what is one-dimensional motion. That means one-dimensional motion is that in which only one coordinate is changing with respect to time. That is, the position of the object is changing either along x-axis or along y-axis or along z-axis. Only one coordinate is changing with respect to time. Then the body is said to have one-dimensional motion. The simplest example can be a car moving on a straight road, a train moving on a straight railway track, or a ball freely falling under gravity from certain height. Now, then what is two-dimensional motion? Two-dimensional motion is that in which two coordinates are changing with respect to time. That is both xy, yz, or zx. Now, the simplest example can be what I am looking here, that is our x and y coordinate, that is plane. Whenever a teacher writes on the board, that is a plane, and an insect crawling on the floor, that is also plane, two-dimensional motion. And then what is three-dimensional motion? Three-dimensional motion is that in which the three coordinates are changing with respect to time. And the simplest example can be space, that is a bird flying in the sky like this. So here we are considering the problem related to one-dimensional motion. And one-dimensional motion is, that means the motion along straight line. So kindly have a look on the first graph, that is A. Now this is xt graph. Now we have to tell whether this graph is possible or not. Now have a look at one specific time t, the particle is having two positions. एक particular time में body की दो positions हैं, which is not possible. So the first graph is not possible. Now look at the second graph, velocity time graph. Again, at a given interval of time, the velocity is positive as well as negative. ऊपर भी प्लस वी आ रही है सेम टाइम पे, नीचे भी माइनस वी आ रही है सेम टाइम पे. सो अगेन दिस ग्राफ इज नॉट पॉसिबल. नाउ लुक एट द थर्ड ग्राफ. दिस इज speed time graph. Now here the speed is positive as well as negative. Now we know that speed can never be negative. So again this C graph is not possible. Now look at the D graph. This is total path length with respect to time. Now we are watching here that total path length is increasing and then decreasing and then increasing, which is not possible. The total path length never decreases with time. So again this graph is not possible. Now let's have a look on another problem given to us. This is question number 17. A figure is given which shows the xt plot of one-dimensional motion of a particle. That means again it is a straight line motion. Is it correct to say that the graph that the particle moves in a straight line for t less than 0 and t greater than 0 has parabolic path? Let's first have a look of the graph. Now just have a look for the graph. This is xt graph. For t less than 0 it is a straight line, blue color line you can see, and for t greater than 0 it is a curve, that is a parabolic curve is there. Now what was the question? That in the given graph the particle is moving along straight line for t less than 0 and it is moving a parabolic path for t greater than 0. The question is this, क्या ये possible है? Now first of all remember one thing, that the graph which we plot for uniform motion, non-uniform motion, they does not give us the trajectory of the path followed. it only indicates the motion of the particle. So this graph is not indicating the trajectory, that is the path followed. The graph indicates the motion of the particle. So this is not the trajectory of the graph. I hope it is clear. So you will be able to do the problems related to graph now. Stay blessed.